Good afternoon and welcome to BJC Mitzvah Day number 185, part 3. Using the Sefer Hachinuch Mitzvah that keeps us on its way, and we're continuing the Yom Kippur Service. Here we go. The Torah in Leviticus chapter 16, verse 3 teaches that certain additional offerings are brought on Yom Kippur as part of the day's avoda, as part of the day's service. In addition to these, i.e., the Tamid and Musaf offerings, which we mentioned yesterday, they would bring a young bull as a chatas offering, sin offering, which was burned, and a ram as an olah, completely burnt up. They were both paid for from the Kohen Gadol's own funds. Further in the passage, the Torah states that as part of the Yom Kippur service, 1 ram and 2 he-goats are brought from the community. The Gemara in Yuma cites a dispute as to whether that ram is a separate offering brought in addition to those that Chinuch has already mentioned, or as part of the Musaf offering, and is the same ram that is mentioned in Numbers. The Chinuch addresses that issue as well as the purpose of the 2 additional he-goats. The ram that was acquired from the community's coffers, mentioned in this passage in Leviticus, is the very same ram mentioned in the book of Numbers as part of the Musaf offering. That ram is called the ram of the people. In addition to the aforementioned animals, they would bring 2 he-goats that were paid for from the community's coffers. One was brought as a chatas, a sin offering, and it is this he-goat that is burned, in contrast to the he-goat mentioned in Numbers as part of the Musaf, which is eaten after Yom Kippur. And the second of the 2 he-goats discussed in Leviticus is the he-goat that was sent to the wilderness. In total, then, there were 3 he-goats brought on Yom Kippur. One was an inner chatas, the second was sent to the wilderness, and the third, that of the Musaf offering, was an outer chatas. It thus emerges that the total of all the animals that were offered on the fast day of Yom Kippur, excluding the he-goat that was sent to the wilderness, which was not brought as an offering, is 15. 2 Tamid offerings, plus as part of the Musaf a bull, 2 rams and 7 lambs, totaling 12, all of which were olos. 2 he-goats for chatas offering. 1 part of the Musaf offering whose avoda was performed outside of the sanctuary, and whose meat was eaten that evening. And the other whose avoda was performed inside the sanctuary, and whose meat was burned. And additionally, a young bull as a chatas, whose avoda was performed inside the sanctuary, and whose meat was burned. The Chinuch addresses which of the avodas of Yom Kippur must be performed by the Kohen Gadol, the high priest. The avoda of all 15 of these animals that were offered on this day may be done only by the Kohen Gadol. Whether he is a Kohen Gadol who was installed as Kohen Gadol by having been anointed with the anointment oil, or one of additional vestments, right? There's 2 different Kohanim, the Mishnah talks about it. One was he was anointed with the oil, one was anointed in a certain sense by wearing more begadim when we couldn't find the oil. If Yom Kippur fell on the Shabbos, even the Musaf of the Sabbath was brought exclusively by the Kohen Gadol. The other services of the day also, such as the daily incense and the tending of the menorah lamps, must all be performed by a Kohen Gadol who is married. The requirement that the Kohen Gadol be married is because it is stated in Leviticus, and he shall provide atonement for himself and for his household. This term, his household, the sages explain, refers to his wife. There's a little more to go, but we'll pause and we'll finish up, God willing, tomorrow. Thanks for listening to Sponsor Future Mitzvah 36. 100 the gold. Have a great day.